Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again. Sorry for that little delay in the beginning there. The camera sometimes it takes a while to focus. But anyway, welcome to another sequel in prequel month, and this is a review of the second sequel in the Mummy trilogy. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. That's fine. I'm one of the few that enjoys it for what it is, and I think it's a lot better than the second one because it made it shorter. It was to the point. It went in a different direction, and I had fun with it. It was the last one that was in theaters until the new one that's coming out next year, which I'm not sure of. I'm very mixed on that. But this one I did enjoy, and it's The Mummy, The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. This is the two-disc DVD version. I wanted to show this because I got this at Best Buy during Black Friday a couple years ago. $2, and it's the two-disc special edition. I have the bare bones. Especially the best in the series, not really Roger Ebert, but I do like this film more than the second one. I think the best in the series is the first one, in my opinion. That one is it's a near classic almost. I have less problems with that one than the two sequels. But this is a fun movie. This is just like Jurassic Park 3. It's a very underrated, overly hated, sequel that does not get any respect. It gets shit on. It made a lot of money worldwide. Domestically, it did, borderline, but it didn't flop completely like the BFG or The Lone Ranger or freaking Tomorrowland. I think it's better than those. This movie is only an hour and 52 minutes long. It's the shortest of the franchise. It's still not an hour and a half, but it's still shorter than the second movie. It's not 2 hours and 10 minutes. That's one positive I have with it. It definitely has a shorter running time. It goes out by at a faster pace. It doesn't take an hour for something to happen. And it's something different. This film went in a new direction. That's what I want for a sequel. 7 years after the last movie, there was no way that people wanted to see another movie in the franchise with, back in Egypt again with Emotep, etc., etc., etc. No, I wanted to see something new. I got something new. There's some changes I didn't mind. I know everybody hates Maria Bello as Evie in this movie. They wanted Rachel Weisz to come back, but Rachel Weisz didn't want to come back. So what can you do? I can handle her, Maria Bello. I don't hate her. I mean, it's like when they changed April in Ninja Turtles 2 with from Judith Hogue to Paige Turco, and I was fine with it. As long as the character's intact, I was fine. I thought Maria Bello, even though, yeah, she came out of the closet a couple years ago, I get it. Back in 2008, she was smoking hot. I mean, I still think she's a good actress. I don't hate her for that. People, hey, lesbians have my mind. I'm attracted to women too. So, hey, we should play on the same team, but we have the same mindset. That's one thing I can agree with lesbos and certain bisexual women. Not that I would ever date one because I wouldn't. But anyway, this is not about the LGBT because I'm not a part of that team. But Maria Bello's fine. She's not better than Rachel Weisz in the first film, but she tries. And they didn't make her this tough chick that fights with freaking size like in the second movie. And I like her with dark hair. Sue me. Once again, Brendan Fraser's having fun with this role. He's front and center. He's not overshadowed by anybody, and he's a good lead actor in the movie. John Hannah, once again, he comes back. He's the only other actor with Brendan Fraser to return. He was having fun. Some of the jokes don't work with him. The ending I thought was pretty funny when he goes to Peru and they said that there's a curse there. That was pretty funny, and I even like the director, Rob Cohen. I like him as a director. I've liked some of his work in the past. I forgot what he directed, but I do like his work as a director. He keeps the camera steady. It's in focus. I can see what's going on. He knows how to put big budgets to good use here. Unlike in the second movie where there was way too much CGI. Like everything was CGI, other than like the horses and if there were horses in the movie and the desert and some of the actors, but they put way too much CGI in that movie. This has some CGI, I agree. I know the mummy itself, Jet Li, when they show him as a mummy, he's like black and burnt, and it's a CG figure. It doesn't look that bad. I think it looks okay. One problem I have is that Jet Li is underused in the film. It's not really a big fight between him and Brendan Fraser. There's a scene later in the film where he turns into a three-headed dragon. That was cool. That reminded me of Gita the Three-Headed Monster. I was like, that was cool. It has a lot of Asian culture. I like Asian culture. You see that poster over there? Not Avengers. Of Godzilla. I'm a huge fan of Asian culture. Chinese dragons and anime and Japanese monster movies. I'm a fan of that. And that is just stuff that fascinates me. And trading cards from Pokemon, all of that. Just it's for me. And it's a different story, and I like that it went in a different direction. Critics just shit on this because they treated it like Jurassic Park 3. It's an unnecessary sequel. I think not. I think this is underrated. It's a decent film. I didn't say it's great. Don't get me wrong, but I do like this film. I like the action sequences better. The scenes with the Yetis didn't bother me. Some people were laughing their asses off. I'm like, hey, I sat through R.I.P.D. That movie had a bigger budget than this, and it looked like shit. This, at least, it looks decent. Also, the Asian actors that they brought here, you have Michelle Yeoh from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She's always good to see. She's a really good actress, and she can fight. The woman is a badass. Tomorrow Never Dies, Super Cop, just and gorgeous too. She's from Malaysia, and the young Asian girl that falls for Brendan Fraser's son. What's his name? Uh, Luke Ford. He plays his son. It's a different actor, some Australian actor. He's there. He's not like, at least he's not as horrible. I can tolerate him over Liam Hemsworth because at least he's not in everything. I haven't seen Luke Ford in anything in a long time. But the Asian girl, she was cute. I mean, I like looking at Asian women. They're always good. Stephen Summers did produce the film, so at least it has the production budget, which I like. And yeah, it is flawed. I will say, uh, like I said, Jet Li is not really that memorable as the villain as well. And there's some slow spots in like the middle of the film, but that plagues all the films. Even the first one had some slow spots in the beginning before the adventure begins. But I like the action in the movie. I think it's fun. This movie is fun. It's not like it's not like the reboot. The reboot next year, I guarantee you, it's not going to be as more fun than this or the first movie because Tom Cruise is awesome, but I feel like that movie's going to be like completely forgettable, or it's going to be another big budget disaster like we had this summer. But this was a summer movie I actually liked. It had a lot of pressure. This movie came out a month after The Dark Knight. How was this going to beat that? How? This movie was already 7 years too late for some of the studios. I thought they scored a pretty decent hit with this. I like this movie. I saw this in the theater. I bought the DVD. I bought the Blu-ray, and I've had more fun with this than the second one. Second one was just, it's a mess. It's not horrible, but there's a lot of problems, and I had less problems with this one. The scenes with the horses Brendan Fraser. What's his name? I forgot his name in the movie. Um, Something O'Connell. I forgot his name, but I do like them. I've always liked Brendan Fraser as an actor, and it's a fun movie. Like it doesn't have like it does have some slow spots, but there's a lot of action and really good spectacle. And the Yeti scene, yeah, it's laughable, but I've seen more laughable scenes. I mean, the Asian culture, I like that. That really drew me in. I know a lot of people says this movie sucks. I get it, but this is not Fan Four Stick. I guarantee you, it is not Fan Four Stick. It is not Fifth Wave. It is not Fembusters. It is not freaking Independence Day Resurgence. At least, even though that Rachel Weisz didn't come back, give this movie credit. They didn't kill off her character. Yeah, let me hear the haters scream. They did not kill off Evie's character. They brought her back, even though they recasted her. They kept her alive, at least. It was not like in Star Wars, they bring back Harrison Ford. He's like, I'm tired of Star Wars, and they kill him off. They didn't do that with Brendan Fraser. They didn't do that with Evie. They didn't even do that with freaking John Hannah, who I like. He's the comedic, the comic relief, and I like that he's there. And he's a British guy that I actually like. 10% of the Brits that I do like in Hollywood. And he's not in everything. And he's good in the film. There's some comedic moments that don't work. Like when the yak throws up and they said he yacked, I'm like, this is kind of forced. But the scene where Brendan Fraser's riding on the horse and he's like, get on this horse this minute. I'm like, that was pretty funny. I like that. Because these films, let's face it, this came out the same year also as Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, a movie that gets shit on as well. And I do enjoy that film too. That's another sequel I need to review sometime, hopefully this week or next week. I don't own it anymore, but I want to review it. And this movie is fine. I don't have a lot of problems with it. It's decent. It's it has a lot of it has some pacing issues in the middle, and the villain is not as memorable as Emotep in the first film. At least in the first film, Anavazlu, was memorable, and we remember him with just off opening up, and the special effects were definitely better. But I don't hate this movie. I will never hate this movie. After the atrocities that I sat through in this decade, like Transformers: Age of Extinction was this almost 3 hours and it bored the shit out of me, or freaking Fifth Wave, or the Host and the Twilight films, and freaking, the sequels of Twilight, because the first one was in 2008, and freaking Vampire Academy. No, I can see this over any of those any day. At least this movie doesn't drag for 2 hours. It's not 2.5 hours. It doesn't have 50 billion characters in it. It doesn't have as much CGI as the second one. And I do like the film. I know a lot of people don't. I get it, okay? You don't have to tell me in the comment section that this movie is garbage. I know what I like. I do. I know people are not going to love this film, but I would say if you've never seen it, give it a chance. This is the bonus disc of the film, and this is the first disc. Not much for Artwork Universal, but this is not the disaster that people said it was. A lot of people had this in their worst of 2008. I don't know what they were talking about, because Roger Ebert, I agree with him on one thing. It is a fun movie. I think he gave it like 3 out of 4 stars. I had fun with the movie. After the second movie, it was good to take some time off and go in a different direction. That's what Jurassic Park 3 did, and I liked it. It wasn't a carbon copy of the first film, because the Asian culture is completely different from the Arabic culture, and I know that. And I'm more into Asian culture. I've said it before, it fascinates me. It really does. But take this review for what you will. I hope you guys do watch it. Watch it with the first two films. I mean, yes, the second film is very flawed, but believe me, if you watch this one, you're gonna have less problems with it because there's a lot less time to sit through. And I enjoyed it for what it is. It's a fun adventure popcorn movie with Brendan Fraser in one of his last big starring roles that he was in a hit film, because everything he did afterwards was like some either independent movie or a mainstream film that didn't do well. Like he did one with Harrison Ford a couple years ago and it didn't do well. But I think Fraser deserves another chance. He's not horrible. I've seen much worse. I know he's Canadian, was born in Indianapolis to Canadian parents, but he's a good actor. I don't know why, he just got fat and then, people didn't want to cast him anymore. Liam Worthless gets so much work and he's not a good actor, and yet Fraser hasn't done a major film in years. And they're replacing him in the reboot with Tom Cruise. I like Tom Cruise, but the lead girl, I have my issues with. But anyway, this is a good way to end the original trilogy. It was fine. It's not like it killed it for me. I had fun in the theater. I have fun on DVD. I watched it with my family last year, and I'm like, I like this movie. I do. I like this movie. I don't think it's horrible. I've sat through worse, especially this year. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. This is me. I'm going to call it Defending the Mummy 3. After I put sequel, prequel month, Defending the Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I even like that title. It's not Resurgence. It's not Degeneration. It's not freaking Genocysis. It has a decent title. And it sounds like an anime. And that's cool with me. And it doesn't lie, because he turns into a dragon at the end. So that's cool. And I like the film for what it is. It's not high art, but it's entertaining. And that's all I can say. Anyway, thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys are awesome. Thanks for watching these videos. This has meant the world to me. This has been a very stressful year for me. 2016, we had a lackluster summer at the theater. I only went to like 2 places during the summer, and the heat was intense. It was like 105 here. But I survived. Fall is on the horizon, and I can't wait to review more films. October is going to be Horrorpalooza, so get ready for that. November is going to be Scarlett Johansson month. Yes, all movies with Scarlett Johansson, excluding any Marvel films. But anything else is go if I've seen it. And then December is Christmas, so get ready for that. A lot of stuff prepared for this channel, big things. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos in the next day. So see you later.